Drama Society. I'd like you to know that every penny that we raise from this show goes to support Macmillan Cancer Support charity. Please no flash photography, and if you could turn all your mobile devices off, that would be very appreciated, or on silent. And yes, do enjoy the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like some more tea, Dr. Harper?
Yes, please.
Oh, I do hope you don't disapprove of Mortimer.
Well, I see immediately that I find Mortimer himself to be quite a worthy gentleman. But I also admit that I have watched the growing intimacy between him and my daughter with some trepidation.
What do you mean?
Sally?
What do you mean, Miss Dr. Harper?
Miss Sally, I'll be frank with you. I'm talking about your nephew's unfortunate connection with the theatre.
The theatre? Oh no, Mortimer writes for a New York newspaper.
I know, Miss Sally, I know. But a dramatic critic is constantly exposed to the theatre, and I don't know that some of them to develop an interest in it.
Well, not Mortimer, you need have no fear of that. Why, Mortimer hates the theatre.
Really?
Oh yes, and as he says, the theatre can't last much longer anyway, and in the meantime, it's a living. Well, who do you suppose that is? No, thank you, Teddy. I'll go. How do you do, Mr. Brophy? How are you, Mr. Brophy, Mr. O'Hara?
Hello, Miss Brewster. Very well, Miss Brewster. We've got all the toys for the Christmas fund.
Oh yes, Teddy, go upstairs and get that big box from your Aunt Martha's room. How is Mrs. Brophy? Mrs. Brophy's been quite ill, Dr. Harper.
Pneumonia.
I'll get some beef broth for you to take to her.
Don't bother, Miss Abby. You did so much for her already. She should not go to that trouble.
Listen, you can try and stop her from doing something nice. It'd be for nothing.
When I received my calling to Brooklyn, my wife wasn't well. When she died a month before, well, if I know what pure kindness and absolute generosity are, it's because I've known the Brewster sisters.
Colonel, you promised not to do that.
But I have to call the cabinet to get the release of those supplies.
He used to do that at the middle of the night. The neighbor raised hell with us. They were afraid of him. Anyway.
He's quite harmless.
Suppose he does think he's Teddy Roosevelt. There are a lot of worse people he could think he was.
It's a right shame. A family hatching such cuckoo.
Yes, and his father, the old girl's brother, was some sort of a genius, wasn't he? And their father, Teddy's grandfather, seems to me I've heard he was a little crazy too.
Crazy like a fox. He made $1 million.
Really? You're in Brooklyn?
Yeah, but not medicine. He was a kind of a quack of some sort. All Sergeant Edwards remembers him. He used the house here as a sort of a clinic. Try them out on people.
Well, whatever he did, he left his daughters fixed for life. Thank God for that.
Yes, I'm well acquainted with their charities.
You don't know a tenth of it. When I was the missing person bureau, I was trying to trace an old man we never did find. Do you know? There is a renting agency who got this house down on his list for furnished rooms. They don't rent rooms! But you can bet that anybody who comes here looking for a room goes away with probably a good meal and a few dollars they kick.
Well now, isn't this nice?
Good afternoon, Miss Brewster.
We just dropped in to get the Christmas toys.
Hello, Miss Brewster.
Oh yes, Teddy's Army and Amy, they're all packed.
Here's the broth, Mr. Brophy. Oh, you're back,
Oh,
Martha.
thank you, ma'am.
This is fine. This will make a lot of the kids happy. I mean, that O'Malley boy is nuts about his toy sale. Just...
That's General Miles. I retired him. What's the story again? Teddy dear, put it back. No, the organ goes to Australia. I've given my word to the Fighting Bucklanders. But Teddy... No, it goes to Australia!
What's the difference what the kids get? Thank you. We'll be running along now.
Not at all. Goodbye.
Charge! Charge the blockhouse!
The blockhouse.
The stairs are always so quiet hill.
Have you ever tried to convince him that it wasn't Teddy Roosevelt?
Well, a long time ago, remember, Martha? We thought it might be a nice change for him to be George Washington.
But he stayed under his bed for days and just wouldn't be anybody.
And would so much rather he be Mr. Roosevelt than nobody.
Well, if he's happy, and what's more important, if you're happy, you will see that he signs these.
Sign of these? What are they?
Dr. Harper has made all the arrangements for Teddy to go to Hamperdale Sanitarium after we pass on.
But why must Teddy sign me papers now?
It's better to have it all settled. Mr. Witherspoon understands that they're to be filed right away until time comes to use them.
Mr. Witherspoon? Who's he?
The superintendent of Happydale.
Dr. Harper has made the arrangements to come and meet Teddy tomorrow or the day after.
Well, I'd better be running along or Ellen will be Bye, ladies.
Did you just have tea? Isn't it rather late?
Yes, and dinner's going to be late too.
So, why?
Teddy, good news for you. You're going to Canal to dig another cellar in the lock.
Ah, delighted. That's bully. Just bully. I shall prepare at once for the journey.
Abby? All by yourself? While I was out?
I got a long fine.
I'll run right downstairs and see.
Oh no, I was all alone and there wasn't time.
Well, Martha, just look at the window seat.
Oh, Elaine dear, come in.
Good afternoon, Miss Abby, Miss Martha. I thought Father was here.
He just this minute left. Didn't you meet him?
No, I took the shortcut to the sanitary. Mortimer hasn't got here yet?
No, dear.
Oh, he told me to meet him here. Do you mind if I wait?
Not at all.
Why don't you sit down?
I really must speak to Mortimer about doing this to you.
Doing what?
Well, he was brought up to know better. When a gentleman is taking a young lady out, you should call for her at her house.
Oh, there's something about calling for a girl at the parsonage that discourages any man who doesn't embroider.
No, he's done this too often. We're going to speak to him.
Oh, please don't. After young men whose idea of a nightlife is to take me to a prayer meeting, it's wonderful to go to the theatre almost every night of my life.
It's comforting for us too, dear, because Mortimer has to see some of the plays he has to see. At least he's sitting next to a minister's daughter.
Oh my goodness, Elaine, what must you think of us not having tea anyway by this time?
Don't bother anything in the kitchen until Mortimer comes, and then I'll help you. Mortimer should be here any minute now.
Yes, Father must have been surprised not to find me at home. I better run along and say goodnight to him.
It's a shame you missed him, dear.
If Mortimer comes, tell him I'll be right back. Oh, hello, Mort.
Hello, Elaine. Hello, Aunt Martha.
Abby, Mortimer's here.
Were you just going somewhere?
I was going over to tell Father not to wait up for me.
Oh, hello, Mortimer.
Hello, Aunt Abby.
How are you, dear?
I'm fine, and you look well as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, why don't you sit down?
Abby, haven't we something to do in the kitchen? You know, the tea things?
Oh, yes, the tea things. Well, you two just make yourselves at home.
Just make yourselves at home.
Well, can't you take a hand?
No, that was quite obvious, actually. A lack of inventiveness, I should say.
Yes, that's exactly what you'd say.
Where would you like to go for dinner?
I don't care, I'm not very hungry.
Well, I've just had breakfast, so suppose we wait until after the show?
But that will make it really late, won't it?
Not with the little stinker we're seeing tonight. What I've been told, we'll be at Blake's by about 10 o'clock.
You ought to be fair to this place.
Are these plays fair to me?
I've never seen you walking out in a musical.
Well, that's because that musical isn't opening tonight.
No?
Darling, you've got to learn the rules. With a musical, there's always 3 changes of the title and 4 postponements. They loved it in New Haven, but it needs a lot of work.
Oh, I was hoping it was a musical.
Oh, you have such a light mind.
Not a bit. Musicals have somehow a humanizing effect on you. After a serious play which in the proletariat in the subway and a listen to a lecture on the drama, after a musical, you bring me home in a taxi and you make a few passes.
Now, wait a minute, darling. I think you'll find it's a highly inaccurate piece of reporting.
Well, I'll admit that after the Berman play you told me I had an authentic beauty, and that's a hell of a thing to say to a girl. But it wasn't only after our first musical that you told me I had nice legs, and I have too.
For a minister's daughter, you know a lot about life. When did you learn it?
The choir loft.
I will never be able to rationalise it.
What?
My falling in love with a girl who lives here in Brooklyn.
Falling in love? You're not stupid to articulate, are you?
I mean, the only way I could ever retain my self-respect is if I kept you here in New York.
Did you say kept?
No, I suppose you're waiting for legalities.
I can afford to be a good girl for quite a few years yet.
And I can't wait that long, so when can we be married in a hurry? Say tonight?
I'm afraid Father will insist on officiating.
Oh, God. I bet your father could even make the marriage service sound pedestrian.
Are you by any chance writing a review of it?
Forgive me, darling, it's an occupational disease. I might give the play tonight a good notice.
No, darling, don't pretend you love me that much.
You'll perhaps better tell your father not to wait up tonight.
I think tonight I'll better tell him to wait up.
Well, then I'll telephone wind chime to publish the banns.
Nevertheless,
All right, fine. Everything formal and legal. But no later than next month.
oh, darling, I'll fuck it up with Father's everything.
Oh, well, no. Wait, we need to wait and see what's in rehearsal first. There's a lot of opening nights in October.
Oh, hello,
country is squarely behind you.
I know. Isn't it wonderful? Well, goodbye. Goodbye.
Where are you off to, Teddy?
Panama.
Panama's the seller. We let him ditch the lock to the canal dam.
You're so sweet with him.
Well, Teddy was always my favourite brother.
Favourite. Were there more of you?
There's Jonathan.
Jonathan. I've never heard of him. Your aunts never mentioned him.
No, we don't like to talk about Jonathan. He was the kind of boy who could cut worms in two with his teeth.
What became of him?
I don't know.
Aren't you two going to be late for the theatre?
Oh no, we're skipping dinner. We won't be leaving for about half an hour.
Oh, I'll leave you two alone together again.
Oh, don't bother, darling. I'll better run over and speak to Father. Before I go out with you, he likes to pray over me a little. I'll be right back. I'll go to the cemetery.
Oh, you knew Elaine would be a good influence on you.
Yes. Oh, look, good news. I'm going to marry her.
Married? Oh, Mortimer! Martha, come right in. I've got the most wonderful news for you. Mortimer and Elaine are going to be married.
Oh, married! Oh, Mortimer!
We hoped it would happen just like this.
Elaine must be the happiest girl in the world.
Oh, happy. You can just see her dancing over the gravestones.
And to think it happened in this room.
Have you seen our theatre tickets anywhere?
Well, if you left them here, they must be here somewhere.
What's the name of the play you're going to see tonight? I do hope it is something romantic with your fiancé by your side.
Murder Out.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Yeah, as the curtain goes up, first thing you see is a dead body. Aunt Abby!
Yes, dear.
Now, you know you made those plans for Teddy to go to that sanitarium, Happydale.
Yes, dear, it's all arranged. Dr. Harper will pass paperwork today.
Yes, well, Teddy has to go away right away.
Oh no, dear, that's not all. After we've gone.
No, right away. Right away.
No, why, as long as we're alive, we'll never be separated from Teddy.
Okay, darlings, I've got some frightful news for you. Now, you know how we always used to humour Teddy because we thought he was harmless?
Why, he is harmless.
He was harmless. That's why he has to go to Happydale. That's why he has to be confined.
Mortimer, why have you suddenly turned against your own brother Teddy?
Okay. If they're going to know at some point, might as well be now. Teddy's killed a man.
Nonsense, dear.
There's a body in the window seat.
Oh yes, dear, we know.
You know.
Oh yes, dear. But it has nothing to do with Teddy.
Well, it's one of our gentlemen.
Who is he?
He's named Hoskins, Alan Hoskins. We don't know much about him, really, except he's a Methodist.
And what's he doing there?
He died.
Aunt Martha, men don't just get into window seats and die.
No, he died first.
Well, how?
He drank some wine with poison in it.
And how did the poison get in the wine?
Well, we put it in the wine because it's less noticeable. When you put it in tea, it has this like distinct odour.
And then I put Dr. Harper in the window seat.
Okay, so you both know what you've done.
Yes, dear.
It's first degree.
Well, I think you have the right to our own secrets.
And don't you tell Elaine.
Hello, Al. Can you hear my voice? Okay, then it means I'm actually here. Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha, come in here. What are we going to do?
What's he going to do about what, dear?
There's a body in there.
Yes, dear, we told you just to forget about the whole thing.
For goodness heavens, I cannot just take you to the police. But what am I going to do?
Well, for one thing, dear, stop being so excited.
And just stop worrying about the whole thing.
Worry. Aunt Abby, how can't make you realise that something has to be done?
Now, Mortimer, you behave yourself. You're too old to be flying off the handle like this.
But Mr. Hotchkiss!
Hoskins, dear.
Whatever his name is, he cannot be left there.
We don't intend to leave him there.
No, Teddy's down in the cellar.
Others. As in more than one other.
Yes, dear. Let me see. This makes it 11, isn't it, Abby?
No, dear, this makes it 12.
We really shouldn't count that first one.
Well, I was counting the first one.
Al? No, I'm as sober as a lark. Yeah, listen, you need to get George to review the play tonight. Something's came up. What do you mean you can't get anyone to review the play tonight? Just get someone to review the play tonight! It's my department after all! Right, fine, just get a hold of George. Okay, now, where were we? Oh yeah, 12!
Yes, Abby thinks we ought to count the first one, so that makes it 12.
Who was the first one?
Mr. Midgley, he came here looking for a room. He was a Baptist.
I still think we can't claim full credit for him because he just died.
Martha means without any help from us.
And he was such a lonely old man.
All his Keith and kin were dead.
We felt so sorry for him.
And when he sat in that chair and his heart attack came, he looked so peaceful, and we made up our minds then and there that if we could help other lonely men to the same peace, we would.
Wait, so this happened because that man walked in here and fell dead? How awful!
Oh no, dear. And Teddy's been digging down in Panama, and he thought Mr. Midgley was a yellow fever victim.
That meant it had to be buried immediately.
So we all took him down to Panama and put him in the lock. And that's why I tell you not to worry, because we know exactly what's to be done.
So all of this started just because that man walked in here and fell dead?
Yes, of course we couldn't depend on that happening again, so...
You remember those old jars of poison up on the shelves of your grandfather's laboratory all these years?
Yes.
And you know your Aunt Martha's a knack for mixing things.
Well, dear, for a gallon of elderberry wine, I'll take a teaspoonful of arsenic, half a teaspoonful of strychnine, and then just add a pinch of cyanide.
Oh, it should have quite the kick.
Yes, in fact, one of our gentlemen found the time to say, how delicious.
Now, don't be cross.
Oh, it's you!
Father Christina was excited, so I told him about us, and it was really hard for me to get away. But listen, darling, it's not going to end up for me tonight.
Yes, Elaine, you need to go home and I'll call you up in a day or two.
In a day or two.
Well, you know how I'll call you up every now and then.
Well, then we're going to the theatre.
No, we're not.
Well, why not?
Something came up.
What, darling? Mortimer, you've lost your job.
No, I haven't lost my job. I'm just not reviewing that play tonight. So why don't you just go along home?
But I've got to know what happened. You can tell me.
No, I really can't.
But if you're going to be married...
Wait, married?
Did you forget that now 15 minutes ago you proposed to me?
I did. Yes, I did. And as far as I'm aware, that's still happening. So why don't you just run along home and I'll call you up then?
But, you listen, you can't propose to me 1 minute and throw me out of the house the next.
I'm not throwing you out of the house. Now, will you please get out of here?
No, I won't get out of here, not until I've had some kind of explanation.
Okay. Hello? Yeah, look, out. For God's sake, can you stop? Wait, could you just give me 1 second? Elaine, I love you, dear. I really do. But I have something on my mind right now, and I really would like it if you could go home.
Don't try to be masterful.
Look, when we are married, and if problems like this happen in my life, I hope I find you less tedious and uninspired.
And when we're married, if we're married, I hope I find you adequate.
Wait, what? Elaine! Elaine! Hello? Hello?
Hello, I heard I told you have a room to rent.
Hello, I'm Miss Brewster, and this is my sister, another Miss Brewster.
My name is Gibbs.
Oh, won't you sit down?
Hello?
Now you sit yourself down a minute. Let's get acquainted. Is Brooklyn in your home?
I don't go to home, live in a hotel.
Hello, Al!
Are you
Did you get
dancing people?
I haven't got any family.
All alone in the world?
Yeah,
Well, Martha, he's come just to the right house.
Hello, Al! What? Yes, look, earlier we got cut off. Listen, you need to find someone to review that place tonight. What do you mean George is in Bermuda? Well, yes, okay. I did say he could go to Bermuda. My partner after, wasn't it? Okay, look, listen. You really need to find someone else to get out in the office. Was there someone around that place? All right, hang on, hold on.
Why don't you try some of our wine?
Oh! What about the new boy? You
It's
know,
just upstairs, but
smart
why don't
one.
you try some of our wine first?
Never
what we don't like.
We made it ourselves. It's elderberry wine.
Never tried elderberry since I was a boy, thank you.
Oh, well, there must be someone around.
Do you have your own elderberry bushes?
No, but the cemetery's full of them.
No, I'm not drinking, but I will be starting
We
now.
can do, but why don't you try some of our wine?
Mortimer?
Not bad.
Oh, no, you get out of here. Come on, do you want me murdered? Do you want me killed? Do you want me poisoned?
Now you've spoiled everything!
You cannot be serious. He would not understand. People would not understand. Listen, darlings, I think this has developed into quite a little bit of a habit.
Abby, we should never have told Mortimer.
We don't try and stop you from doing things you like to do. Don't see why you should interfere with us.
Hello? All right. I will review the first half of it and then plan the hell out of it later. All right, I'm leaving now. Goodbye. Ah! Listen, I have to go to the theatre. I can't get out of it. But while I am gone, please just promise me one thing.
What do you want us to do?
Don't do anything.
Well,
I mean, don't do anything.
we're planning on holding services before dinner.
Services.
Certainly. You didn't think we were going to bury Mr. Hoskins without a full Methodist service, did you?
Can't they wait until after I get back?
Then you could join us?
Yes, of course I'll join you.
Oh, remember, Martha, Mortimer had such a beautiful singing voice before it changed.
But while I am gone, you're not going to let anyone in this house. That's a promise.
Oh, Mortimer, it's the least we can do now that he's cooperating. Well, okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Mortimer just didn't sing himself this morning.
But it's not a surprise, he's just become engaged to be married. I'll get it.
Abby, we promised Mortimer we wouldn't let anybody in.
Well, who do you suppose it is?
I don't know. We'll just have to pretend that we're not home.
Come on in, Doctor. This is the home of my youth. As a boy, I couldn't wait to escape from this place. But now, I'm most glad to be escaping back into it. The family must still live here. There's something so unmistakably Brewster about the Brewsters. Hope there's a fatted calf waiting for the return of the prodigal. Yeah, I'm hungry. Oh, look at the drinks. Ah, it's very well expected.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Why, Aunt Abby? Aunt Martha, it's Jonathan.
You get out of here.
I'm Jonathan, your nephew, Jonathan.
You're not our nephew, Jonathan.
But I am Jonathan, and this is Dr. Einstein.
It's not Dr. Einstein either.
Not Dr. Albert Einstein, Dr. Hermann Einstein.
You're not our nephew, Jonathan.
I see you're still wearing that lovely brooch for Grandma Brewster's portrait from England. And you, Aunt Martha, still the high collar, the heart the scar that Grandpapa's acid burned you.
His voice is like Jonathan's.
Have you been in an accident?
No, my face. Dr. Einstein is responsible for that. He's a plastic surgeon. He changes people's faces.
But that face, I've seen it before. Remember, Abby, when we took the little shots boy to the movies? I was so frightened. It was that face.
Yes, it's easy. Don't worry, ladies. The last 5 years, I gave Johnny 3 new faces. The last face, well, I saw the picture too, just before I operate, and I was so intoxicated.
You see, Doctor? You see? see what you've done to me?
Johnny!
Even my family.
Johnny! You're home in this lovely house. How did he tell me about Brooklyn, about his house, about his sons that he loves so much? They know you, Johnny. You know it's Jonathan. Speak to him. Tell me so.
Where have you been?
England, South Africa, Australia. For the last 5 years, Chicago. Me and Dr. Einstein, we business there together.
And we were in Chicago for the World's Fair.
Yes, but we found Chicago awfully warm.
It got too hot for us too.
Well, it's wonderful to be home again. Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha, you don't look a day older. Just the way I remember you. Sweet, charming, hospitable. And dear Teddy, did you ever get into politics? My little brother, Doctor. He was so determined to become president.
Yes, and Mortimer as well too.
Well, it's very nice to see you again, Jonathan.
Bless you, Aunt Martha.
Well, we mustn't let what's on the stove boil over.
Yes, if you'll excuse us for a minute, Jonathan.
Well, Johnny, where do we go from here? The police have got pictures of her face. I've got to operate you right away. And we've got to find a place for Mrs. Penazzo.
Don't waste any worry on that rat.
But Johnny, we've got a hot stick on our hands.
Forget Mrs. Penazzo.
But you can't leave a dead body in an apple seat. We shouldn't have killed him, Johnny. He was a nice fellow. He gave us a ride. And then what happened?
He did not look like Boris Karloff! That's your work, Doctor. You did that to me.
Well, Jonathan, it was very nice to see you again, and we are glad that you remembered us, but you were never happy in this house, and we were never happy while you were in it. So we've come to say goodbye.
Aunt Abby, whilst your feelings toward me don't necessarily come as much of a surprise, my biggest regret is for Dr. Einstein here. He was ever so excited to try one of your infamous home-cooked dinners.
Oh,
But I'm afraid there wouldn't be enough.
Abby, it's a pretty good-sized pot roast.
Well then, you better get things started, Martha.
Yes.
If you'd like to go freshen up, you can use your grandfather's old laboratory.
Is that still there?
Yes, just as he left it. I'm going to go help Martha get things started in the kitchen.
Grandfather's laboratory. And just as it was. A perfect operating theatre for us.
Too bad we can't use it.
After, why, we could make a fortune here. Grandfather's laboratory. That large ward in an attic. 10 beds, Doctor. And Brooklyn is crying out for your talents.
Why work yourself up, Johnny? Anyway, Brooklyn, I think you'll be a year too late.
You don't know this place, Doctor. Practically everyone needs a new face.
But so many of your faces are locked up.
Very small percentage. And the boys in Brooklyn will pay handsomely to get us out of jail.
Take it easy, Johnny. Your aunts, they don't want us here.
We're here for dinner, aren't we?
Yeah, but after that,
Let me have it, Doctor. Why, this place could very well be our headquarters for years.
yeah, you're right, Johnny. This nice, quiet house. So peaceful.
That's what makes it so perfect for us, Doctor. It's so peaceful.
Well, Jonathan, we know you need to get to wherever it is you're going.
My dear aunt, I'm so full of that delicious dinner, I can't even move a muscle.
Yeah, it's nice here.
After all, it's very late, and
I found it!
What? Fine, Teddy.
My biography. Here's the picture I was telling you about. General Goethals and President Roosevelt at Calibracut. That's me, General, and that's you.
My, I've changed.
Well, you see, that picture hasn't been taken yet. We didn't even start working on Calibracut. We're still inspecting the new locks. And now, General, you will come with me to Panama to inspect the new locks.
No, Teddy, not to Panama.
We got some other time. Panama's a long way off.
Nonsense, it's just down in the cellar.
The cellar?
we let him dig the Panama Canal in the cellar.
General Goethals, as the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, Army and the Navy, and the man who gave you this job, I demand you to come with me to inspect the locks.
Teddy, I think it's time you went to bed.
I beg your pardon, who are you?
I'm Woodrow Wilson. Go to bed.
what you're thinking.
Teddy, perhaps you'd better go to bed. Jonathan and his friends were just leaving.
General Gerfels, Inspector Canal.
All right, Mr. President. We go to Panama.
Follow me, General. It's down south, you know.
Well, bon voyage.
My dear aunts, I must forgive your misapprehension. We have no hotel.
Well, there's a very nice hotel. I've already
Aunt
booked down.
Martha, this is my home.
I'm afraid you can't stay here.
Me and Dr. Einstein need a place to stay. You remember just this very afternoon that as a child I could be disagreeable.
Perhaps you'd better let them stay here tonight.
Just for tonight.
Splendid. That settles that. If you get my room ready.
It only needs airing out.
Johnny, Tansala.
What is it?
It's a whole teddy dog. It just fits Mrs. Venanzo. 6 feet long, 4 feet wide.
Down there.
You think that you will bring Mrs. Venanzo along as hospitality?
Rather good joke of my aunt's. They're living in a house with a body buried in the cellar.
How will it be?
Yes. Well, we can't just rush him in through the front door now, can we? I think we can move the car between the house and the cemetery. Then when everyone else has gone to bed, we'll move Mrs. Spinoza in from the window.
Bed? We got bed tonight, Johnny.
Easy, Doctor. Remember, you're operating tomorrow. And this time, you better be sober!
I'll fix you up beautifully.
Jonathan, your room is ready.
Good, then you can go to bed. We're just moving the car behind the house.
No, it's fine where it is until morning.
I can't leave the car out of the street. That might be against the law.
What are we going to do?
We're not going to let them stay in this house for more than one night, that's for sure.
What are we going to do about Mr. Hoskins?
Oh yes, Mr. Hoskins. Well, when I turn out the lights, we'll bring him down to the cellar.
General Goethals was very pleased. He says the kennel is just the right size.
Teddy, there's been another yellow fever victim.
This will be a shock to the General.
Then we mustn't tell him about it.
But it's his department.
No, Teddy, it would just spoil his visit.
I'm sorry, Aunt Toby. It's out of my hands. Army regulations, you know. He has to be told.
No, we must keep it a secret.
A state secret.
Yes, a state secret.
Promise?
You have word of the promise of the United States of America. Cross my heart, hope to that. Okay, let's see. How are we going to keep it as a secret?
Well, when I turn out the lights, you come upstairs and take Mr. Hoskins down to the cellar.
And then we'll come down later and we'll hold services.
You may announce the president will say a few words. Where is the poor devil?
He's in the window seat.
Seems to be spreading. We never had yellow fever there before.
Abby, I've never even seen Mr. Hoskins before.
Oh yes, you were right. He's pretty nice looking considering he's a Methodist. Come and have a look.
We're bringing luggage through here.
Jonathan, your room is ready.
I'm afraid we don't keep Brooklyn hours, but you two well on to bed.
Well, we weren't planning to go until...
Aunt Martha, I said, go to bed! Instruments could go down to the laboratory in the morning. Now, we're all going to bed. Order me up, Doctor. Run along, Aunt Martha. Right, Aunt Abby.
I'll be right up.
All right, now turn up the lights! Passing through.
No. He's so heavy for me. You go outside and push. I stay here pull.
Fine. I will go have a look around the house. When I tap on the glass, you open the window.
All right, who let this open? Johnny. Okay. I got you. Okay. Be more
Ken!
Okay, good. I got him. Johnny, go. Go.
Who is it? Is that you, Teddy? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Elaine Harper. I live next door.
Then what are you doing here?
I came round to see Miss Abby and Miss Martha.
Turn on the lights, Doctor.
I think you better explain what you're doing here.
We happen to live here.
You don't live here. I'm in this house almost every day. I've never seen you before. Where are Miss Abby and Miss Martha? What have you done to them?
Perhaps we should introduce ourselves. This is, Dr. Einstein.
Dr. Einstein.
A surgeon of great distinction and something of a magician.
And I suppose you're going to tell me you're Boris Karloff.
I'm Jonathan Brewster.
Oh, you're Jonathan.
I see you've heard of me.
Just this afternoon for the first time.
Oh, really? And what did my dear family have to say about it?
Only that it was another brother named Jonathan. That was all that was said. Well, that explains everything. Now that I know who you are, I'll be running along back home if you'll kindly lock the door.
That explains everything. Just what did you mean by that?
I thought I saw someone prowling around your house. I suppose it was you?
You say you saw someone prowling around the house.
Yes. Weren't you outside? Isn't that your car?
You saw someone at the car?
Yes. That's why I came here. I wanted to tell Miss Abby to call the police, but if it was you in the car, I don't need to bother. I'll be running along.
What else did you see?
Nothing, just that. That's all.
Did you see someone at the car? What were they doing there?
I don't know. You see, I was on my way over here.
I think she's lying.
I think she's telling the truth, Johnny. Where did I go?
I say she's lying. Someone bring you to this house at this time of night. She's dangerous. She can't be trusted to let her out loose.
Take your hands off me!
It's going to be a private funeral.
Teddy, tell this man who I am.
It's my daughter, Alice.
No, Teddy. Teddy!
Doctor, your handkerchief, the cellar.
What's the matter?
We caught a burglar, a sneak thief.
Oh,
Go back to
the
your room.
police!
We've already called the police. We'll handle this. Go back to your room.
What was all that noise about?
Get off me! Mortimer, where have you been?
The North Bay Theatre, and I wish I had the... Oh my God, I'm still there.
It's your brother, Jonathan, dear.
Okay, I know this isn't a nightmare, but what is that?
It's your brother, and this is Dr. Einstein.
Jonathan.
Yes, he's had his face changed. Dr. Einstein performed the operation.
Jonathan, you always were a horror, but do you now have to look like one?
I think Johnny is...
Oh, Mortimer. Have you forgotten so easily all the things I used to do to you when we were boys? Remember the time I tied you that bed? Fingers under your fingernails.
Yes, I remember you, Jonathan. I also remember you being the most vicious, venomous form of human life that I've ever met.
Now, don't you two boys start quarrelling again the minute you see each other.
Don't worry, Aunt Abby, there's not going to be a fight. Jonathan will be leaving.
Me and Dr. Einstein have been invited to stay.
Not in this house.
Just for tonight.
All right, fine, for tonight. But tomorrow, I want you gone. Where is he staying?
Jonathan's old room.
That's my room. That's my old room. I'm here to stay.
Oh, Mortimer, I'm so glad.
Johnny, we sleep down here. You sleep on the couch and I will sleep on the window seat.
Window seat! Oh, no. Rather, I'll sleep right here in the window seat.
You know, Johnny, all this argument makes me think of Mrs. Penanzo.
Yes, Doctor, I have completely lost track of Mrs. Spinalto.
Who's this Mr. Spinalto?
Jonathan. Well, that's just been looking for.
Yeah, well, I don't want you bringing anyone else into this house.
It's all right, Jonathan. While you pack, I'll tell you all about it. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, well, you're wasting your time. I told you, I'm sleeping down here.
Mortimer!
Elaine, darling, what's happened to you?
Emma's been killed!
You've almost been Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha.
No, how could you think such a thing, Mortimer?
He mistook her for a sneak thief.
No, it was Jonathan. He's some kind of maniac, Mortimer. I'm afraid of him.
Oh, darling, you're trembling. Do you have any smelling salts?
No, but do you think some tea or coffee?
Oh, coffee, yes. And can you make some sandwiches as well? I haven't had any dinner yet.
Yes, we'll make something for the both of you.
Now, Elaine, what are you doing here? Do you not know what time it is? It's after 12. 12? Yeah, you need to leave now.
What's going on in this house?
What do you mean what's going on in this house?
You're supposed to take me to dinner. You called it off. You asked me to marry you. I said I would. And 5 minutes later, you threw me out of the house. Now listen, Mr. Brewster, do you love me?
Yes, Elaine, I do love you. But I can't marry you.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
No, it's only a matter of time. I mean, madness pretty much runs in my family. It practically gallops. But no, that's why I can't marry you, dear.
Well, now, just because Teddy's a little...
No, this is beyond that. This goes to way back to when the people used to come over on the Mayflower. Now, you know, back then they used to, the Indians used to scout the settlers. He used to scout the Indians.
Well, Mortimer, that's ancient history.
No, then there was my grandfather. You know, the one who tried his patent medicine out on dead people to make sure that they didn't die.
Well, he wasn't so crazy. He made $1 million.
Yes, and then there's Jonathan. You even said it yourself. He's a maniac. He tried to kill you.
Well, but he's your brother, not you, and I'm in love with you.
Yes, okay. And then there's Teddy. I mean, you know, he thinks he's Theodore Roosevelt. No Brewster man should marry. If I had caught my father in time, I would have stopped him.
No, well, listen. All of this doesn't prove you're crazy. Look at Jones. There are Brewsters, aren't they? And they're the same sweetest people I've ever met.
Yeah, even they have their peculiarities.
Yes, but what lovely peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, human sympathy.
Leave on another one!
What?
Yeah, listen, darling, you need to go. Something very important has just come up.
Ah! From where? We are alone here together.
But just make up to the fact that I'm a mad Brewster.
Listen, if you think you're going to get out of this by pretending you're insane, you're crazy. You may not marry me, but I am going to marry you. I love you, though.
Okay, listen. If you love me, can you please get out of here?
Well, at least take me home, won't you? I'm afraid.
Afraid? Afraid I'm going to walk through the cemetery?
All right. Will you at least kiss me goodnight?
Of course. Okay, bye-bye. I will talk to you in a day or two.
You critic!
Aunt Abby, I'm Martha coming here.
Yes, dear, what's the matter? Where's Elaine?
No, you know how you said you wasn't going to bring anyone else into this house while I was gone.
Jonathan and Dr. Einstein just let themselves in.
That's not what I'm talking about. Who's that in the window seat?
Mr. Hoskins, I told you.
It's not Mr. Hoskins.
Well, who could that be?
Aunt Abby, are you seriously telling me you've never seen this man before?
Certainly am.
Aunt Abby, this is another one of your gentlemen.
That's not one of my gentlemen. That man's an imposter.
Well, he couldn't have got that idea from Mr. Hoskins. Speaking of which, where is Mr. Hoskins?
He must have gone to Panama.
Oh, so you buried him.
No, not yet. I've always wanted to hold a double funeral, but I will not read services over a complete stranger.
Aunt Abby, how can I believe you? You've just admitted that you murdered 12 people and buried them in your cellar.
I did, but you don't think I'd stoop to telling a fib? Martha!
Mortimer, I'd like to have a word with you.
Yes, well, a word is about enough time I have for you, Jonathan, because I've decided you and your doctor friend are leaving.
I'm glad you recognize dramatize the situation with that one of us can stay under the same roof. But I'm afraid you've arrived at the wrong conclusion. Take your bags and get out!
If you think that there's anything I'm worried about, if you think there's anything that I'm afraid of,
Martha, just look in the window, see?
no! Oh, right! Jonathan, why don't you tell Aunt Martha what's in the window seat? Aunt Abby, I owe you an apology. But I have some good news. Jonathan will be leaving, and he'll be taking Dr. Einstein and his cold companion with him. Jonathan, you're my brother, so I'm going to give you the chance to take everything with you. No? Okay, I'll just have to call the police.
Don't reach for that telephone. What happened to Mr. Spinalzo can just as easily happen to you, too. Hello, Miss Abby.
How are you? Is there something I can do for you?
Yeah, I saw your lights on and thought there might be some sort of sickness. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you have company. I'll be leaving.
Oh, no. Come, please come in. Come on in, Officer O'Hara. This is our nephew, Mortimer.
Pleased to meet you.
And this is our other nephew, Jonathan.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Must be nice having your nephews visiting you.
Yes, well, I'm staying, but my brother Jonathan will be just leaving.
Have I met you before? Your face seems familiar.
I don't think so.
Right, well, why don't you come and sit down?
But I have to ask, is there a photo around here everywhere? Because it sure reminds me of someone.
No, he'll probably be one of those people you've seen in the movies.
See, I don't go to the movies. I call them the heathen art. My mother.
Yeah, there's plenty of in there. Your mother said that.
Yeah, my mother was an actress. Born on tour, I was.
Oh, you were?
Second act, she made the finale.
What a trooper! There must be a story in your mother. Say, I write about the theatre.
Really? Oh, hold on. You're not Walter Bruce, the dramatic critic?
Yes.
Oh, well that's handy. I'm a playwright, you see.
Huh?
Oh, the police thing, it's just temporary.
How long have you been on the force?
12 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm collecting material for the play at the minute.
I'm sure it's a honey.
Well, it ought to be with all the drama I see here in Brooklyn. Honestly, sir, between you and me, you would not believe what goes on in this place.
Oh no, I think I have an idea.
Oh, what time do you got?
Little after 1.
I've just got to ring in.
Oh, wait. I think I might be able to help you with your play.
Really? Oh, it's almost needs fate walking in here tonight. Well, I'll tell you the plot now.
Okay, let's
See?
Wait a minute, Jonathan. You're leaving. Remember, you have to take everything with you. O'Hara, why don't you go now and we'll meet up sometime to talk about your play?
Oh, I'm not leaving now, Mr. Brewster. You just offered to help me with my play, didn't you?
Yes,
You and me are going to write this play together.
I'm not a creative writer.
You don't have to do the creating, just put your words to it.
But O'Hara...
No, I insist. You know what? I'm not leaving this seat until I told you the plot.
In which case, Mortimer, we'll be right with you.
Oh, no, you
Well,
don't.
everything's just about ready. How are you leaving, Jonathan?
O'Hara, why don't you join us in the kitchen for some coffee? Come into the kitchen.
Of course. Well, might as well.
Yes. Well, if you're off then, Jonathan, come on, Officer O'Hara.
Goodbye.
I'm glad you had the chance to come back to Brooklyn, Jonathan, because it gives me the chance to kick you out myself. And the first person to go is your boyfriend, Mrs. Spinalzo.
We're not going anywhere.
Oh, you sure?
We'll be staying right here.
All right.
I could only imagine him writing a play with a policeman. Doctor, this matter between my brother and I has got to be settled.
Hey, Johnny. Your brother gives us a chance to get away. What more could you ask?
Not going anywhere. We're staying right here tonight.
With a cop in the kitchen and Mrs. Spinalzo in the window seat.
That's all he's got on us. I say, we move him into the cellar and come straight back here.
that if anyone tries to interfere,
I'm Johnny.
look, you can see that it's got to be done, don't you?
Yeah, I know that look. When you make up your mind, you lose your head.
Doctor,
Brooklyn ain't a good place for you.
doctor.
Okay. Maybe they're coming back here. Then we've got to take this with us.
No, we'll leave them here. In fact, hide them into the cellar. Move fast. And now soak it up the same way he did. It's all going to plan.
Hey, Johnny, come quick.
What is it?
Remember the hole in the cellar?
Yes.
We got an exit hole. Come, I'll show you.
Jonathan! Jonathan!
Yes, Mortimer.
Where have you been? I thought I told you to get out.
We're not going anywhere.
Oh, you're not?
We're going to be staying right here tonight.
Do you want me to tell O'Hara? Actually, you know what? If it gets rid of you and O'Hara at the same time, fine by me. O'Hara!
If you tell O'Hara what's in the window seat, I'll tell him what's down in the cellar.
The cellar?
There's a gentleman down there who appears to be very, very dead.
What were you doing in the cellar?
What's he doing in the cellar?
Say, Mr. Brewster, your aunt's here to play too. I'll get him in here and tell him what.
Yeah, no, look, listen. Why don't you go somewhere else and we'll discuss your play there?
Sounds good. How about the back room of Kelly's?
Perfect, the back room of Kelly. Why don't you go ring it and I'll meet you there?
Why don't you both go down in the cellar?
That's all right with me. Is that the cellar?
No, look. We'll just go to Kelly's and I'll meet you there.
Well, that'll only take a couple of minutes.
Right, listen here, you. I'm going to ditch this guy, and when I'm gone, and when I come back, I want you gone. Now wait for me.
Oh, we'll wait for him, Doctor. I've waited a great many years for an opportunity quite like this.
We got him right where you were here. He not he look guilty.
Why did you take our bags up?
Have they gone? We thought we had someone leave.
Just Mortimer. He'll be back in a few minutes. I don't suppose there's any food left in the kitchen. Did the doctor now enjoy a bite to eat?
But you're going. Mortimer won't like it if you're still here when he gets back.
Get us something while we bury Mr. Spinazzo.
Oh no, not in our cellar.
You know what's downstairs.
Yes, it's one of our gentlemen.
Your gentleman?
We don't have any strangers buried in our cellar.
So you just take your Mrs. Spinazzo out of here?
But Mr. Hoskins.
Yes, he's one of our gentlemen. There's hardly any room and we're going to need it.
It's crowded with what?
There are 12 graves down there.
12 graves!
We put flowers on them every Sunday.
You mean to tell me that you two have murdered?
Murdered? Certainly not.
Why, what we do is a mercy.
Got it. When we chase all over the world, they stay right here in Brooklyn and do just as good as you.
What?
Come on. You got 12, they got 12.
I've got 13.
Not 12.
I say 13.
No.
One in London, 2 in Johannesburg, 1 Sydney, 1 Melbourne, 2 San Francisco, 1 in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix?
The filling station. 3 in Chicago and the 1 in South Bend. That makes 13.
You can't count the one in South Bend. He died of pneumonia.
He would have died from pneumonia if I hadn't shot him.
No, Johnny. He died of pneumonia. He don't count.
I say 13.
No, Johnny. You got 12. They got 12. The old ladies are just as good as you are.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Well, that's easily taken care of. All I would need is 1 more. Well, here I am.
You stop doing that. This is our cellar and you can't do that.
Ladies, please go back upstairs.
please.
No, not call the police. Listen, we might have to call the police later, but until then, I want to be ready.
We've got to get Jonathan out of this house.
And Mr. Spinello too.
Will you please let me do this my way? Be back down in a second.
Well, that's a relief, isn't it, Abby?
Yes, we just have to tell Jonathan and Einstein that they'll have to leave. Jonathan, there you are. You're leaving.
Well, it's already done. Say, did I just hear Mortimer?
Well, it would just have to be undone.
Can't see the problem. I'm sure Mr. Spinazzo would be very pleased to share Miss Hoskins' company. After all, they're both dead.
No, Mortimer said you'll be out by morning.
And he has a way of doing it too.
Oh, are we? Well, you can run along to bed, have a pleasant night's sleep.
Goodbye, Jonathan.
Good night, aunties.
No, not good night. Goodbye.
Those beds feel good already. 48 hours we didn't sleep. Let's go, Johnny.
You're forgetting, Doctor.
What?
My brother, Mortimer.
Johnny, tonight. We do that tomorrow, the next day.
No, tonight! Now!
But Johnny, we go to bed.
No. I think for Mortimer this course was something special. I think perhaps the Melbourne method.
Johnny, no. Not the good boy. 2 hours, and then what? The fellow in London was just as dead as the fellow in Melbourne.
There was no time to really get into it in London. There was no aesthetic pleasure of it. Oh, but Melbourne. That was something to remember.
Remember? I wish I didn't. No, Johnny, not Melbourne, not me.
Where are your instruments, Doctor?
I won't do it, Johnny.
Get your instruments! Oh, yes. You hid them in the cellar. Where?
I won't say.
I'll find them, Doctor.
You promised you wouldn't do that, Mr. President.
I cannot sign any proclamation without consulting my cabinet.
But it must be a secret proclamation.
A secret proclamation? How unusual.
Yes, Japan mustn't know until it's signed.
Japan? I'll sign it right away. You have my word for it. I can let the cabinet know later.
Yes, well then, let's go up and sign them now.
You wait here. A secret proclamation has to be signed secret.
Well, at once, Mr. President.
I'll have to put on my signing clothes.
You're leaving now, eh?
Ah, Dr. Einstein, look, I don't have much problem with you. You seem to be a nice fellow. So, I recommend you get out of here now.
I'm warning you. Get away quick.
Look, things are going to start popping around here any minute now.
Listen. Johnny, he's in a bad mood. When he's like this, he's a madman. Things happen, terrible things.
I am not worried about Jonathan.
Oh, boy. Don't this place use to teach you anything?
And what is that supposed to mean?
What? At least people in stage act like they got sense. That's more than you do.
Oh, they do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you could have had the chance to see this little delight I saw tonight. There's a man. He's supposed to be bright. He's in a house full of murderers. He's even been told to get out. But does he go? No. Now tell me, is that what a sensible person would do?
You asking me?
He doesn't even have the thought to be on guard. He even gets told to sit down.
What you mean? Will you sit down?
Ah, funny enough, that little one was in there as well.
Ah, what happened?
Well, he sat down. The big dope, the one who's supposed to be bright, waiting to be trussed up and gagged. What do you think they used to tie him up with?
What?
The curtain cord.
Why not? A good idea, very convenient.
Yes, but it's a little bit too convenient. I mean, come on, the curtain cord.
He didn't see he get it.
See him? No, he had his back to him the entire time. The smart man, the man who's supposed to be bright, just sitting there, waiting to be trussed up and gagged.
Oh.
You know,
Fellow,
Mortimer,
fellow.
if you don't
He
mind,
wasn't very bright.
we'll finish that story. Now, we get to work, Doctor.
Let's try the quick way for me.
Doctor!
Yeah, all right, let's get it over with it.
Everything's all laid out for you, Doctor. This must be an artistic achievement. After all, you call for a very distinguished critic.
I gotta have a drink. I can't do this without a drink.
Pull yourself together.
But I didn't get to drink. Why can't you? This afternoon there was wine here, remember? I didn't put it. That's all there is. I split it with you. Don't eat a drink. Huh?
Please, Doctor, where are your manners? To my dear dead brother. Blasted idiots! That's all. He goes next. That's all he goes next!
No, not Teddy, Johnny, not Teddy. That's where I stood, not Teddy.
Now, work fast!
Yeah, the quick way, Johnny.
Yes, Doctor, the quick way!
The colonel's got a quick line in that hall.
It's all right, officer. We're taking Bugle away from you. Don't worry, I'd better speak to him myself.
Hey, I waited now for you at Kelly's. You stood me up. If I may ask, what happened to him?
He was explaining this.
They stole up practically from the second act in my play. Why in my second act? Just before that. Actually, you know what? I better begin at the start. It opens in my mother's dressing room, where I was born. Only I ain't born yet. Jesus. Well, there she is, making up, when all of a sudden, in walks a man with a black moustache and says, Mr. Tall, will you marry me? He don't know she's pregnant at this point. Now, this thug is standing over her with a hatchet while she's lying across the table unconscious in her lingerie. I'm tied up, just like you are. This place is in infernal flames, it's on fire, when all of a sudden, in comes Mayor LaGuardia, and, well, we'll fast forward that bit. It's 3 days later, I'm under charges, somebody stole my badge. It's a long story, really. So I'm walking my beat on Staten Island. Then, it turns out, with my 46th precinct, a guy with... Don't let him be in! See? Well, the guy we're following, turns out, is really following us. So I see a house in the corner, I figure, I goes in.
Miss Abby, Miss Martha, it's Officer Brophy!
Hold on. I see the door handle turn. I brace myself up against the wall. I say, come in.
What the hell is here?
Hey Pat, sorry, this is Mortimer Brewster. He's helping me write my play.
Do you have to tell him up to make him listen? Look here, Joe. You'd better report to the station. The poor forces are looking for you.
Did they send you here for me?
Did not know you were here. I came to warn the old ladies that they'll have to pay. The colonel blew his bugger again last night. The lieutenant is on the warpath. He said the colonel has to be put away someplace.
Yes! Yes!
See, well, I had to get through the third act quickly, so I'll start now.
Well, you can stay there. Hell away from me.
Say, do you know what time is it? It's after 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, them first two acts really run long though, Mr. Brewster. I can't see anything I can leave out.
You can leave all of it out.
What the hell is this guy?
Oh, that's my older brother.
Ah, the one that ran away. So
Yes.
he came back.
The one who ran away.
Hey, this is Brophy. Tell the lieutenant he can call off the big man's hand. Yes, we got him. In the Brewster house. Okay, we stay there. The lieutenant is on his way over.
So, I've been turned in, huh? Well, because now do some turning in of my own. You think my aunts are sweet, charming ladies, don't you? Well, there are 13 bodies down in that cellar. Teddy! 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 Teddy!
But what are you talking about?
I'll prove it to you, I'll show you. You, cover me down into the cellar.
Alright, go down with him in the cellar.
To be honest with you, sir, I don't really I mean, he does look an awful lot like Boris Karloff.
Ah! Oh God! Ah!
What the hell is going on here? What happened? Did he put up a fight?
This ain't the guy who blew the burger. This is his brother. He tried to kill Joe.
Literally, all I said was he looked like Boris Karloff.
Turn him over.
We kinda think he's wanted somewhere.
Oh, you kind of think he's wanted somewhere. If you guys don't look at the circulars that we hung up in the stations, at least you could read the detective. Of course he's wanted. In Indiana, he escaped from the prison for criminally insane. For God's sake, that's how he was described. He looks like Karloff.
He tried to get us down in the cellar.
He says there was 13 bodies there.
13 bodies in the cellar, and that didn't tip you off a bit that he came from a nut house.
I thought he talked kinda crazy, but
Oh, it's Shakespeare. Where have you been all night and you needed murder to tell me?
well, at the minute I've been writing my play with Mortimer Brewster.
Well, you're gonna have plenty of time to write that play. You're suspended. Now get back and report in.
Oh, can I come round the station and use the typewriter?
No! Get out of here! You can find out about his accomplice. He's wanted too. No wonder Brooklyn's in the shape it's in with the police force full of flatheads like you. Storing for that kind of story. 13 bodies in the cellar.
But there are 13 bodies in the cellar.
Who are you?
I'm President Roosevelt.
What the hell is this?
This is the fellow who blew the burger.
Well, Colonel, you've blown your last bugle.
Dear me, another yellow fever victim?
What?
All the bodies in the cellar are yellow fever victims.
No, Colonel. This is a spy we caught in the White House.
Well, can you get that guy out of here?
If there's questioning of spies, that's my department.
You keep out of this.
You're forgetting. As president, I'm also head of the Secret Service.
Okay. Captain, I'm Mortimer Brewster.
Are you sure?
Listen, I'm here to talk to you about my brother Teddy, you know, the one who blows the bugle.
We ain't going to talk about that. He's gonna be put away.
Oh, I quite agree. In fact, it's all been arranged for.
Where's he going?
Happydale.
Well, I don't care where he goes, as long as he goes.
Yeah, listen, I just need to let you know that everything that's happened around here, Teddy is responsible for. Now, the 13 bodies in the cellar...
Yeah, those 13 bodies in the cellar. It ain't enough that he's disturbing the peace and that the neighbors are all afraid of him. But can you imagine that cockeyed story about 13 bodies in the cellar got around? And now he started a yellow fever scare. Cute, ain't it?
Yeah, 13 bodies in the cellar. Do you really think anyone's going to believe that?
Well, some people are just dumb enough. You don't know what to believe sometimes. About a year ago, a crazy guy started a murder rumor at Greenpoint, and I had to dig up half an acre lot to prove that.
Just give me a moment.
Morning, Mortimer.
Elaine, dear, how are you?
Good. Mr. Winston is coming just right up. He's coming to meet Teddy.
Mr. Witherspoon?
He's the superintendent of Happydale. They're here.
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You here to see Teddy? Oh, this is, Captain.
Lieutenant Rooney, I'm glad you're here, Super. Because you're taking him today.
Today? I didn't know it was this immediate.
Yes, let me just sit down.
Complete insubordination. You men will find out I'm no mollycoddle. When is the President of the United States treated like that? Where is the country's coming to?
Here's your man, Super.
Hang on. Give me a moment. Mr. President, I have some good news for you. Your term of service is over.
Is this my fault?
Practically.
Well, I go on a hunting trip to Africa. Well, I must start immediately. Is he trying to move into the White House before I moved out?
Who, Teddy?
Taft.
No, this is not Mr. Taft. This is Mr. Witherspoon. He'll be your guide in Africa.
Bully. When the safari comes, tell them to wait. I'll bring down the equipment. Goodbye, Aunt Sophie. Goodbye, Aunt Martha. I'm going to Africa. Isn't it wonderful?
Good morning, darlings.
Oh, we have visitors!
This is Lieutenant Rooney.
How do you do, Lieutenant? You don't look like the fuss budget the policeman said you are.
You know, he's here because Teddy blew his bugle again last night.
Yeah.
about that.
It's a little more serious than that, lady.
And this is Mr. Witherspoon.
How would you do?
He's the superintendent to Happy Day.
You've come to meet Teddy?
He's come to take him.
Not while we're alive.
We won't permit it.
We will not be separated from Teddy.
I'm sorry, ladies, but the low's the low. He's committed himself and he's going.
Well, if you'd have to take Teddy, you have to take us with him.
Why not?
Now, let's be sensible about this, ladies. For example, why am I wasting my morning when I've got some serious work to do? You don't imagine that there are no more murders that are going on in Brooklyn.
Oh, wait. There are?
It ain't only his bugle blowing and that he's disturbing the peace, but sooner or later we'll be put up to the trouble of digging up your cellar.
Our cellar?
Yeah, your nephew's telling around that there are 13 bodies buried in there.
But there are 13 bodies buried in our cellar.
If you think that's why Teddy has to go away, you come down to the cellar with us and we'll prove it to you.
Yes, there's one, Mrs. Spinalza, who doesn't belong there and will have to leave. But the other 12 are our gentlemen. We put flowers on them every Sunday.
Flowers? Don't you think that you have room for these two ladies?
Well, we don't really take the same people at Happydale.
Oh, come along, I'll show you.
No, I'll take your word for it. I'm a very busy man, you know.
Can't they be committed themselves? Teddy signed the papers, can't they just sign the papers?
Well, of course.
Well, if we can go with Teddy, we'll sign the papers. Where are they?
Yes, where are they?
Sign me up.
So, right there. And you right there. We need something.
Ah, you need signature with doctor.
Dr. Einstein! Could you come over here quickly? We just need you to sign some papers.
Well, I must go.
You would not believe. Last night, I thought Dr. Einstein here was going to operate on me. So just sign right there, please, Dr. Einstein.
Are you leaving, Doctor?
Well, I'm afraid I must leave. So,
Aren't you going to wait for Jonathan?
well, I'm afraid I'm not going to the same plane as him, so.
Mr. Brewster, you sign here with next of kin.
Oh, of course, right here.
Right there.
Alright, that makes everything complete. Everything legal.
Of course.
Well, aunties, now you're safe.
Why don't you run along upstairs and just show Teddy what he can take along?
Upstairs.
I'll show you in a minute.
Hello, Mac. Rudy. Yeah, we found that guy that went in Vienna. There was a description of his accomplice on the desk. Can you read it to me? 54, 5'6", brown eyes, poses as a doctor, talks with a foreign accent. Thanks, Mac.
The doctor's just signed the papers.
Oh. Thanks, Doc. You're really doing Brooklyn a service.
Mortimer, we really need to talk to you about something.
Don't worry, darling, you're going to love it at Happydale. We're very happy about the whole situation. That's just it. We don't want anything to go wrong.
Will they investigate those signatures?
I am pretty sure they're not going to investigate Dr. Einstein.
It's not his signature, dear. It's yours.
Huh?
You see, you signed it next of kin.
Well, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Well, dear, we never really wanted to tell you this. But now you're a man, and Elaine should know this too. You see, dear, you're not really a Brewster.
Huh?
You see, your mother came to us as a maid, and you were born just 3 months afterwards, and your father was a chef on board a ship, and he died, and we really didn't want to lose her, so brother married her.
Hang on. So, I'm not technically, biologically, honestly, a Brewster.
Don't feel badly about it, dear.
Oh, a delay won't make any difference to you.
Elaine, do you understand?
No?
Did you not just listen? I'm not a Brewster! I'm the son of a seeker! Yeah!
How rude! Yes, how rude!
raised over £200 for Macmillan Cancer Support Day, so well done to everyone for that. And thank you, and do come again to another one of our shows.